What's the most surprising thing that only exists in Korea?
Skyscrapers. A lot of long buildings.
Toilets are really fancy. We don't have all the buttons in the US.
Electric buses. I hate the electric buses. My name is Chloe and I live in Daejeon. I'm from America, Texas.
And what made you come to Korea?
My job, I teach English.
You teach English at school?
Yes.
How do you like your job so far?
I think it's really good. It's very rewarding. I love my students.
Do you teach elementary school?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest difference between Korean kids and American kids?
They do like the same things. They do kind of act the same sometimes. There's moments where I'm like, oh, this is something kids back home would do. I think the biggest difference, I would say, is definitely how they treat their teachers. You're treated with a lot more respect than back home, for sure. More respectful. Yes.
And what was the most surprising thing, but that only exists in Korea?
Electric buses.
Electric buses.
I hate the electric buses.
You hate it?
I'm not a fan. The regular buses are just fine. They ride really weird. I don't know why.
What's one preconception that you had before coming to Korea, but that turned out not to be so?
Korean people are very quiet. I think there's a lot more noise than you think. Louder, yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, I think so. It makes you feel like, oh, things are kind of like home.
Were you able to make a lot of friends?
No. It's very hard with the language barrier sometimes and cultural differences.
Do you think there are anything that only foreigners would know about Korea that Koreans wouldn't know?
Oh, a lot of people, at least back home online, they always just talk about pop-up shops and certain experiences like that you can only get like here.
There are a lot of foreigners coming to Korea these days. Do you think there's one advice that you can give to these foreigners who are coming?
Watch what people do and then do that.
Okay.
That is the one thing that I've been like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. I watch my coworkers, I watch other people, and I'm like, I think that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite Korean food?
Sujebi.
Sebi.
Yes.
That's a random one.
I love sujebi.
Why do you like it?
I don't know. There's something about it. I didn't expect to like it, but I really do.
Do you think that kind of reminds you of chicken noodle soup?
It kind of does now that I think about it.
Kind of similar, right?
Yeah, like a comfort food on a cold day.
What was your biggest challenge?
Definitely cultural differences where trying to understand what people mean in conversation, there's a lot of unspoken, like, you should know this, I'm not going to tell you this in conversations. I think definitely that's it.
You are working in Daejeon.
Yes.
What do you think is the biggest difference between Daejeon and Seoul?
There's not much to do in Daejeon sometimes. Seoul is very busy. I wouldn't live in Seoul. I like living in Daejeon because it's so much quieter. There's too many people in Seoul sometimes. Yeah.
You know the meme about Daejeon?
All I've heard from people when I started working in Korea, like when I came to Korea, I said, I'm moving to Daejeon. They said, oh, there's nothing to do in Daejeon. But
Do you think that's true?
sometimes,
Sometimes.
yeah, there's some good areas, but it's not as lively as Seoul.
Hi, I'm Floor. I'm from the Netherlands and I'm 22 years old.
And what made you come to Korea?
So I used to live here and now I'm just visiting my friends and shopping.
Can we ask you, what was the most surprising thing that you can only find in Korea?
Really good salt bread. Salt bread, we don't have that back in Europe really. So this here, I love salt bread.
What's like one preconception that you had before coming to Korea that turned out to be not true?
I was really scared to be judged as a foreigner because I was here during COVID, so there was not a lot of foreigners. But in the end, nobody really cared. Only a little bit older people, they look at me, but the rest doesn't care.
Have you had a preconception that Korean people may be kind of cold towards people?
Oh, no. Well, the Dutch people are like that too, so it's not a big difference. We're very, very direct, so that's here too, so it's the same.
Any facts that only foreigners would know about Korea, but not Koreans?
When you're walking in the streets, Korean people just sometimes stop in the middle of the road and then you walk against them and it's your fault. But I guess that's the only thing I could think of. Like,
Why do you think they just all of a sudden stop?
I don't. They just realize something. It happens here a lot. Like people just randomly stop walking and then they turn around and go somewhere else. I'm like, okay.
Just look at you.
No. They just realize they have to go somewhere else or so. I don't know. They just stop. Today it happened also.
What do you think was your biggest culture shock?
Culture shock. So actually, I was prepared for more. I read up a lot about Korean culture, and I was like in a Korean company, so they taught me a lot about the culture and how to act. So for me, it was not a lot.
Have you ever been to other Asian countries?
I've been to Japan.
Japan. So compared to Japan, what do you think is the biggest difference between Korea and Japan?
From back home, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Japan's so futuristic and modern," and then I went there because I was already living here, and then I went there, and I was like, "Oh." Like Korea is way more advanced in technology. It uses it way more. So I was like surprised how not advanced it was. It's still advanced, don't get me wrong, but Korea is way more ahead of it. Like they use it way more, I think. Yeah.
Since you said you worked in Korea before, planning to work here in Korea, what's like one advice you would give?
Don't expect the Western European mindset. It's like way harder. Like you can imagine it and then 10 times more. Like you work so much here, and drinking culture. If you work in a Korean based company, you have to drink a lot.
What was your biggest challenge in Korea?
When the working part for sure. Like I worked so many hours and then you had to drink afterwards. It runs you down. But after I finished the work, like I can appreciate the city a lot. Like it's very nice. People are very kind. So don't be scared to come here. It's like very nice. But if you work here, be prepared.
What was your favorite food?
Very simple food. It's a soybean paste soup. I like, yeah.
Well, is it because you know how in Netherlands the cheese is kind of famous?
Oh yeah, cheese here bad.
It's bad.
No.
But I thought maybe the fermented soybean is kind of similar to cheese in the fact like the funky smell.
Maybe, but like with or tofu stew, also very spicy tofu stew, I really like too.
Hello, my name is Tatiana and I'm from Russia. I'm working in a chocolate factory and I'm 34 years old.
Hello, my name is Dilara. I'm from Russia, 34-year-old, and I'm working in bank.
What made you guys come to Korea?
Just to sightseeing because interesting in Korea because I watched a little dramas, K-dramas. So and we were Japan and from Japan comes here.
I heard you're Korean. It was quite impressive. So can you say something in Korean to the camera?
안녕하세요, 타티아나입니다. 나는 드라마를 좋아요.
한국어를 배우신 이유는 뭐예요?
한국어가 좋아하는데 배워요.
What's the most surprising thing that you found in Korea that only exists in Korea?
Skyscrapers. A lot of long buildings.
And people very free, very interesting,
Okay.
And easy to communicate with them.
yes, very easy to communicate.
Very easygoing.
Very
yes.
open people.
We have a lot of people who interact with us, and we made a lot of photos with the Korean girls,
Okay.
guys.
Do you think there's anything about Korea that only foreigners know that Koreans wouldn't know about?
우리는 김치를 먹는데 맵지 않아요. 러시아에서 김치 맵지 않아요. Like kimchi, but we use carrot with kimchi
we like
sauce.
Korean carrots, yes.
I think a lot of Russian people eat it.
And are there any other dish that is kind of popular?
Corn dogs.
Corn dogs and ramen. Covered in a ramen.
Sweet chicken.
Sweet chicken.
And what was your favorite food since coming here?
Grape. We ate grape.
And strawberry.
Sweet.
Very tasty.
It's kind of expensive though.
I think same as in Moscow.
You guys been to Japan before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the biggest difference between Korea and Japan?
People.
People. Yes.
How are they different?
In Japan, they are very close.
And no any communication with
Yes.
foreigners. But if you have a friends in Japan, they really easygoing with you.
Oh, then what's one similarity that Japan and Korea?
like a lot of buildings at the same place where the park, like this area.
Food dishes.
Food.
Yes.
Which food?
Ramen.
Ramen and ramen.
Ramen.
What was like one difficulty that you had in Korea?
Stairs, a lot of stairs. Because we have a lot of heavy luggage,
Luggage,
difficult to go somewhere.
Okay.
To understand some maps. And one more thing that is not difficult but interesting, that music when trains come. We was really surprised about that.
Yeah.
As what is the music? What is going on? Especially line
Line 6.
Line 6 especially.
Why?
I don't know. It is like
It's
a
like marsh.
marsh that is like.
I'm Cornelia Mackay. I'm Alice Warner.
What made you guys come to Korea?
Well, we were flying through and we wanted to extend our layover, but fascinated by Korean culture.
Only heard really good things, so wanted to try the food and all of the shopping.
What was the most surprising thing that you experienced in Korea that you think only exists in Korea?
The toilets are really fancy. We don't have all the buttons in the US.
I thought K-pop would be a little more prevalent and everywhere, but it's not. I haven't seen it as much.
What do you think is more prevalent?
Definitely centered around food. Food is a big part, and everything we've had has been really good. Definitely surprised by the food, how good it was.
One preconception that you had before coming to Korea, but that turned out not to be true.
I wondered if we would stand out because we're blonde, and we do, but nobody seems to care at all or notice.
A lot of foreigners here.
Yeah.
It's busy, but I thought it was going to be kind of like Times Square in New York vibes, where there's going to be all these people walking around and lights everywhere, but it's a lot more calm and all the neighborhoods are pretty spread out. Pretty easy to walk around and see everything.
Do you think there's anything about Korea that you think only foreigners would kind of observe?
It's very clean, and I don't know if you guys noticed that it's so clean, but there's no trash on the ground and everyone's really kind.
Yeah, very nice, very safe. We don't
Yes.
walk around in America and like not have to look both ways, so I feel very safe walking around.
And
here.
especially in alleys, in the US, you wouldn't walk down an alley, especially in the dark. And some of the coolest spots we've found have been in dark alleys, and we felt very safe. And it's been like a cool bar or a cool restaurant in a dark alley. So
Do you think there was anything that's kind of inconvenient for you guys?
It is spread out. We want to see a lot of things, and it takes a long time to get to places.
Yeah.
We wish we had more time. We just have a couple days, or maybe it'd be easier.
well, this is probably obvious. Everything's in Korean, which I thought there might be a little more English translations, but that might be our ignorance of not knowing Korean, and it's a little bit harder to navigate than I thought, especially on maps, because I can't read everything. But that's a me issue.
So if you have more time in Korea, what's like one thing that you would do?
I wanted to go to Busan and I wanted to go to the DMZ.
That's kind of dangerous, no?
A little.
I just really wanted to be on the border of a place that not many people in the world go to, and a part of history that's still pretty recent. I really wanted to go, but it was a little too far and too long for this 3-day journey.
I think I really wanted to see, is it Hongdae, the university neighborhood?
Oh,
I also really wanted to go to a club. I heard that the clubbing was really fun here, but not in the cards this trip, maybe next time. But
and I see you guys shopped a lot.
We did.
So what do you think is your like one favorite item that you shop?
Ooh, I got a bag. It's wrapped up, or I would show it. I'll show from Stand Oil.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
She has the same thing.
Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got that exact one. I got it in butter yellow. Well, I'm gonna just open it up. It's this color. Yeah. And
Pretty. It's just a different color.
I was so excited about it, so I'm really excited to use this.
I wanted a bag, but they were sold out of all the colors I wanted.
Yeah, great quality.
Okay. How about your favorite food that you had?
We went to Gwangjang Market yesterday. We had these donuts. We waited in a long line for them, but there are these like rice cake donuts. The mung bean pancakes were good. I wanted to try the squid, but then I got scared.
No, it looks so weird.
That was really good. Kimchi dumplings are really good.
Yeah. We're doing Korean barbecue tonight, so hopefully that's good.
All the bakeries have been really good. You guys have really good coffee and pastries. Every meal's not like been amazing, and the shopping's been not cheap, but definitely
shopping. It's cheaper than the U.S.
Yeah.
so that's been fun.
Thank you so much for the
Yeah.
Thank you.